Well, welcome back to Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling. We're in the heart of the heartland right here in Minnesota, and I'm with Rob Zeski. Rob, thank you so much for having us here today.
Absolutely, good to be here.
We are the good folks at Second Harvest Heartland, and let's explain Second Harvest a little bit. You're a national company under the umbrella of Feeding America?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we're a food bank, and our job is to aggregate and distribute large quantities of food from our partners like Golden Plump or General Mills, the big manufacturers of food, but also agricultural surplus. And we work with other food banks, about 200 around the country.
Right.
But our territory is right here in Minnesota and Wisconsin, and so we try to work with food shelves, soup kitchens, homeless shelters, who are on the front lines of feeding our hungry neighbors. So our job is to collect a lot of food and get it quickly and cheaply to those partners in need.
You know, with the economic times we've had in the last, since you've been executive director 3 years ago, it's all your fault.
That's right, I take all the blame, yeah.
Since the economic times we've had, I know for a fact, and you know for a fact, but let's explain to the audience out there the increase in needs.
Yeah. It's been dramatic, and I think people who have been in this business a lot longer than I have,
right.
my 4 years, I think will tell you that we've never seen anything like this. So the scope of people who are turning to food shelves, soup kitchens, any type of help, they've never been here. We hear the stories about volunteers at local food shelves who
right.
are now the coming to get food.
Yeah.
Same thing for donors. So it's been a pretty dramatic turnaround. And for us, 5 years ago, we served about 250,000 people in a year, and last year it was 500,000. So it's more than doubled over that period. And we know that food stamp usage is up. We've got more kids on free introduced breakfast and lunches, and so all kinds of places. And I think one of the neat things about what we do is this is about as neighborly as you can get. I mean, you know, people give us food and we help them in a tough time, and it's pretty efficient, pretty neighbor to neighbor kind of thing.
It must be a good feeling for you, at least, to see generous folks like Golden Plump Chicken, who but behind us, by the way,
yeah.
This is not just your ordinary background here, or it's not our grilling background as a rule, but you could do a heck of a lot of outdoor grilling with this palette of Golden Plump Chicken. Let's explain the Palette of the Month program, Rob.
Absolutely. So, as you said, the way we've met this need of kind of doubling
right.
is we've got generous partners, and
yeah.
Golden Plump has been one of the founding partners. They've given us 1.5 million pounds of chicken.
As Tony said, a charter member.
Yeah, they are. And so one of the things they do is they, our industry used to be built on stuff that was left over in the system,
right.
stuff that didn't sell. And so Golden Plump has been doing great work, giving us a first pallet off their lines of chicken, and so they give us one pallet every month, and that adds up fast when we have partners like that. And so having Golden Plump not only give us food, but help provide leadership to our community
right.
to say, step up during a tough time, they've been great partners.
And how many other pallet members are there? About 10, I think Tony said?
Yeah, we've got 10, and that keeps growing,
yeah.
in addition to the hundreds of people who give as they have excess product. And so it's a neat story. It doesn't take a lot to feed a family of 3 or 4
right.
to just tide them over for that month.
And the Giving Green, what a great program. I looked in the coolers over here and I see, and by the way, it's a unique sort of situation because about 3 days ago was the Harvest Moon.
Right,
when we were taping this. 3 days ago was the Harvest Moon. Rod and I parked our vehicle at the restaurant. It was called The Harvest.
Yeah.
And so harvest is on our mind, but the harvest is in season right now, and we have a load of watermelons that would have been plowed under, but somebody a farmer thought, hey, I can give that to Second Harvest.
That's right, and it's this work used to be about can drives. You think about the old can drive, and we still do that, and
yep.
it's hugely helpful. But now we're into a world of perishable foods
right.
and agricultural foods, and that has the advantage for us of number one, it's some of the most nutritious food we provide. I mean, you think about chicken, it's fresh chicken. You can do anything.
High in protein, low in fat, good stuff.
It is good
yeah.
stuff. It's
yeah,
good
yeah.
on a grill.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing for us, though, is that is food that I think farmers and producers want to make sure gets used. We live in a state of abundance, and they want to see that go to people who need it as well. So it's a neat story.
And it's a food rescue program where years ago that would have went to a landfill.
Yep.
Basically,
yep.
and it really would have.
Yep.
It would have been perishables.
So we'll collect about 18 million pounds of food this way from that would have been landfilled like
right.
that, and that's a great environmental story too, as well as a good one for hunger relief.
Exactly right. Now, though, we talked about the good family of Golden Plump Chicken, and they are family-raised chicken and farmers, ranchers. How, as we as individuals, how can we help out?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a lot of ways. I think first, we can always have people connected on the food donation side, whether that's a can drive. The Boy Scouts do a great can drive every year. So do the postal carriers.
Sure.
So lots of ways for people to get involved there. They can certainly volunteer. As this food grows, a lot of it needs to be repacked and resorted, and so volunteering at a local food shelf, a soup kitchen, or at a food bank is huge. And certainly from a financial standpoint, one of the unique things about our work is it's so efficient. We're able to take about $1 and turn it into nearly $8 worth of food that we distribute because so much is donated.
Right.
So it's a huge piece of leverage, and boy, even just getting out the word that there's neighbors who still need help and they might be invisible in our community are big ways to help.
Yeah, and I might add that the pallet of the month, this is all donated by Golden Plump Chicken. It equals about 1,500 to 2,000 pounds each and every month. Yeah. The consistency in your mind as executive director, I mean, you could almost grow hair again.
Oh, absolutely. I wish, right? Yeah, but it is nice to have that kind of consistency, and donors who are going to be there for us in our community is huge, and that does make a man want to grow more hair.
Well, I've only met a few of your employees here at Second Harvest Heartland here in Minnesota. You have a great staff. You're a wonderful facility that helps out the needy, and that's a great thing. And Rob, we thank you so much.
My
pleasure. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks for being part of this story.
Yep, you bet. We'll be right back, folks.